All right, SuperZoo 2023 Petworking is here. Hello everyone and welcome to Petworking. This is Peter Kenseth. I'm here with Dr. James Templeman of Primal Pet Food. We've been talking a little bit about the nutritional difference between freeze-dried, raw, and the new trend that everybody is all over at the show here. Gently cooked, fresh, frozen, refrigerated. James, tell us a little bit about, from a nutritional perspective, how do you view the difference between freeze-dried, raw, and freshly, gently cooked?
Yeah, so I mean, I'd say first off in terms of frozen versus a freeze-dried raw product, again, coming from something like us where we have very similar overall diet matrix going into each of these different processes, the nutritional components are very, very similar. We get really high levels of nutrient retention coming out of our freeze dryers, and obviously that frozen is just kind of an all-in-one style product. When it comes to our gently cooked products, yes, it is undergoing some very mild processing, but because of the sous vide method that we actually use for manufacturing, it really kind of contains everything within that little package, that little puck itself. So really high levels of nutrient retention and just a fantastic product, getting a little bit outside of our typical frozen and freeze-dried platforms, but just hopefully reaching a new consumer base, and again, really high quality, highly nutritious product.
And you were saying though, James, for people who might want the convenience of a freeze-dried without needing to keep it in their refrigerator, in their freezer, the nutritional difference between a freeze-dried product and raw or fresh, gently cooked, not significant.
Very minute. Aside from the obvious difference of that moisture content itself, the overall nutritional density and quality of that product is so similar between our freeze-dried and our frozen products. It really just come with a different consumer base, looking at that kind of convenience of having a more shelf-stable, more scoopable product when it comes to something like freeze-dried specific, our freeze-dried Pronto, but nutritionally very, very similar products between freeze-dried and frozen.
That's great to hear. And so, for people who are, feeding kibble and might be looking to add a little bit of raw or freeze-dried to their bowl, there's a lot of different options out there for them. But, from your perspective, obviously, we can't expect everybody to be able to immediately switch from kibble to freeze-dried or fresh or raw, but mixing that in with your kibble diet, seems to be the tack that everybody's taking here.
Yeah, absolutely. It would always be my recommendation. It's understandable that nobody is going to be absolutely changing from entirely one format to another, but if you can introduce a little bit of variety into your pet's bowl, whether it is a fresh topper or a little bit of freeze-dried or even one of our gently cooked products as well, I just think you'll start to see the value of that in terms of just adding a little bit of interest and variety to your pet's bowl, and maybe it'll kind of turn them on to something that's a little bit different than the kibble they've been consuming every day. So never going to be a downside to introducing a little bit of fun, a little bit of variety to your pet's diet.
And I don't know the extent to which you can talk about it, but to tease a little bit, I think you mentioned we can expect some big innovation that you guys have been working on for a while, coming down the pipeline.
I'd say, keep your guys' eyes out. January 2024, we're going to have a pretty cool, innovative launch coming in to that new year, so everybody keep your eyes peeled, and it's going to be pretty exciting.
Awesome. James, thank you so much. This is Peter Kenseth with Petworking. Dr. James Templeman, Director of Nutrition at Primal Pet Foods, and great start to SuperZoo 2023. Hi everyone, here at the Mars Pet Care booth with an exciting new launch of Greenies getting into food for the first time. We have Greenies Smart Essentials, dry food, and then Smart Toppers. These mark an expansion from one of the leading dental health brands and supplement brands in the market today and into the food space for the first time. So pretty cool to see. And the Smart Essentials line is making a dental claim as part of its 6 vital claims. So it's very cool to see that here. Peter Kenseth. Also want to note that the new Greenies dry and wet toppers are going to be available everywhere but groceries. So look for them in Amazon, Chewy, also in your pet specialty, neighborhood pet specialty, Petco, PetSmart, PSP. But yes, Greenies getting into the food space. Very exciting. Peter Kenseth with Petworking, SuperZoo 2023. Hello Hello everyone and welcome to Petworking. Peter Kenseth here with Sarah Hubler of Navi, launching here at the show. It is a slow roasted pet food, kind of bridging the gap between fresh, gently cooked and freeze-dried, giving another more convenient option to people who want to migrate away from kibble or add, probably could even use it as a topper.
Absolutely.
If you wanted to
Great
just add,
topper and meal mix-in.
Great. Sarah, tell us a little bit about the founding of Navi.
Yeah. So Navi was specifically designed to solve all issues for picky pups, but also for parents who want the convenience of being able to scoop something into a bowl, but the wonderful benefits of fresh and frozen. So what's great about Navi is that you can scoop it right out of the bag, feed it as is. It has slow roasted meat pieces inside, which are slow roasted 180 degrees for 10 to 14 hours, low and slow, just like you would do in your own smoker or oven at home. We then blend it with probiotic power crisps that I'm spilling all over the table. And these have your gut health, prebiotic fibers, a 4-strain blend of protected probiotics, and then these delicious fruits and vegetables. But where the magic happens is when you add water or bone broth. A few minutes with fruits, these fruits and veggies rehydrate and look like fresh food right from your refrigerator. And this boosts the aroma and the taste, and dogs find it irresistible.
That's awesome. So yeah, I think we've seen a lot, the fresh, gently cooked, frozen refrigerated trend has really exploded, both at global, it's continuing here at SuperZoo 2023, but obviously there is the barrier there of you've got to thaw out a block of food, you've got to take up space in your freezer, it takes time, and in a lot of cases you can't feed it exclusively, so you're putting it on as a topper, right? And I think we are seeing some innovation in the category. At Global, we saw Portland Pet Company. They do like a hermetically sealed,
absolutely,
shelf-stable, fresh, and I think that may be the next innovation in the category is looking at a more shelf-stable, fresh option. Keeps freezer and refrigerator space clear in retailers. You don't have to buy your own freezers to create space on the shelf. So that's very cool. Is this shipping yet? Where can folks get Navi right now?
Right now, this is our very first show, so we're setting up distribution all over the country. We are exclusive to independent pet stores right now. We want to support our local store chains. So this will be coming out very soon. Unfortunately, not available online, but look for it in your local store and ask your local store clerk for the product, and they'll be able to get it.
Cool. And who are you working with in terms of distributors?
Right now, we are working with Philips on the East Coast and Southeast Pet, and then we've had a lot of meetings from a lot of excited distributors this week, so we hope to be nationwide very soon.
Awesome. That's great. Sarah, congratulations on the launch, and look forward to seeing it in stores.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you guys.
All right, also, this is pretty interesting. We've got NAD from Zesty Paws. If you remember on the first episode of Petworking, we featured leap years from Nick Sinclair and Ginny Renko over at Animal Bioscience. Also an NAD supplement, first of its kind in the dog space. That being more marketed towards the veterinary channels and the direct-to-consumer channels. Now we see one of the leading supplement companies in the pet care space getting into NAD. Very cool to see here. Hey everyone, Peter Kenseth with Petworking here on the last day of SuperZoo 2023. I am here with Dan Horner, VP of Sales at Pet Honesty. Pet Honesty has really taken the supplement market by storm the last few years.
Yeah.
Dan, you said you guys started out as a D2C brand, but in the last year you've expanded into brick and mortar, and you said you added 7,000 stores?
Yeah, just under 7,000 stores. You can find our products really across the country, from every Petco, PetSmart, Pet Supplies Plus, or Tractor Supply store. And we're even in about 1,000 neighborhood pet shops as well as we continue to grow and expand the brand.
That's amazing. Now, you said, prior to coming to Pet Honesty, you were employee number 4 at Freshpet.
Yes, I was. Yes.
And I think you said the growth you have seen here with Pet Honesty competes with, or maybe even surpasses?
Certainly surpasses it. It took us years to develop the same level of retail doors and business at Fresh Pet. A little different concept back in the day, but yeah, Pet Honesty is probably the fastest retail growth company I've ever been a part of, and I have a backpack of 30 years of experience in the industry.
Wow. Now, I mean, I think, we've generally looked at supplements as becoming a fairly crowded space. Obviously, everyone knows the Zesty Paws, the Pet
Sure.
Honesties,
Yeah.
Native Pets of the world, but Nulo's in supplements. You see a
Yeah.
lot of your major food brands getting into
Yeah.
supplements the last
Sure
few
do.
years. What's making you guys stand out so much?
Well, there's a couple things. One, to your point, it was a very underdeveloped space for many, many years. As the humanization trends have happened across pet for the past couple of decades now, you see it across almost every part of a retail format store. I mean, if you'd have told me 20 years ago you could find Halloween costumes for cats and sleeping bags for dogs, I would have done exactly that. But health and wellness in general, particularly supplements, haven't really followed the human trends. We as humans consume a lot of supplements, and we do it primarily because we're trying to stave off future issues, future problems, or we want a little bit more energy, or we want to feel a little bit better about ourselves. In pets, it's really been a problem solution category. So my dog or cat has an issue, therefore I'm going to buy a supplement because it's going to help alleviate that issue, right? At Pet Honesty, we're doing a couple things a little bit differently than some of these other brands you're talking about. First of all, we are probably the most natural and efficacious supplement brand out there. With a name like Honesty in your brand name, you better be transparent, and your products better work, and pets better love it when they take that supplement to eat it. And we tick all those boxes. We have a very limited ingredient product that you see out there compared to most of our competitors. Nothing artificial ever. All ingredients you'd find in your pantry, quite frankly, if you were making it yourself. And the other thing that we're doing at Pet Honesty is we are trying to push that category changing behavior around proactive, regimented, literally every dog or every cat, everyday healthcare. Just like, my parents would roll Flintstone vitamins out to me when I was a kid because they wanted me to make sure I was getting all my vitamins that I needed to grow. Why can't we do the same thing for our four-legged children, right? So getting into a multivitamin pattern, for instance, where every day when you're waking up and you're giving your kids your supplements or you're feeding your pet, get a multivitamin in the bowl. It's not that the food that they're eating is bad, it's just you're giving them that little bit of extra kiss of nutrition to help stave off future issues and things that could happen.
Right.
And there really aren't many other supplement brands out there with that position.
And it's not really like you really have to worry about, giving them an overdose of these vitamins, right? Like not like,
Correct.
When we take a multivitamin, if we are getting nutrients we don't need, we expel them through waste. And I'm assuming it's the
true.
same pathway, that we would expect with a dog
so
or a cat.
all supplements basically are regulated by NASC, which is the National Supplement Committee, and they are dosage form usage. In other words, it's a dose, just like you take a regular medication. So in our case, for instance, on our dog chews, for every 25 pounds of dog, it's one chew. So if your dog weighs 75 pounds, they're going to get 3 chews every day to get the right dosage.
Right.
Our cat supplements, it's one little supplement per pound of cat. So if you have a 12-pound cat, they get 12 supplements a day.
Okay, that makes sense. And just to close out, one thing I've noticed a lot of in the last few years has kind of been the slingshot back and forth between functional treating and supplements, right? And I was talking to a colleague in R&D, well, not a colleague, a connection in the R&D space earlier in the show, and he was mentioning that within treats you're kind of regulated as the amount of active ingredient that you can put in, whereas supplements give you a little bit more leeway to get higher levels. Is that how you would describe the difference?
Well, that's exactly right, because treats are considered consumables, which are regulated by the FDA and AFCO. So you can only go so far in your ingredient panel before you have to go into a, quote, dosage formulation.
Okay.
NASC, which is the governing body that regulates supplements, basically is where they allow you to up the active ingredients and whatnot. And we think functional treats are great, right? But it's essentially just getting a kiss of that extra benefit versus a supplement where you're getting full strength dose. If that makes sense.
Makes sense. Definitely makes sense. Anything you're particularly excited about?
Well, the show's been great for us this year. The newest product line that we have, you can actually see it behind us here, are these revolutionary new cat supplements. Cats think they're getting a treat. It's basically a hard, crunchy outer shell with a soft, creamy center, and 92% plus of cats love these. Very palatable. We call it acceptability is the technical term. But whether it's calming or hip and joint or especially hairball issues with cats, consumers are looking for a new and easy way to get real supplementation into their cat's diet. Most of the current supplements out there for cats aren't very palatable. Cats are finicky, as we all know. But these new cat supplements, they think they're getting a treat. Highly palatable. Cats love them, and we're seeing tremendous results.
That's cool. Cat lovers out there.
There you go.
All right. Dan, thanks so much.
Thank
Have a
you,
great
Peter.
rest of the show.
Good to see you.
Hey everyone, Peter Kenseth with Petworking. I'm here with Chad Stewart, West Region Director for Halo. Nice purple suit with a three-piece edition that he bought himself. Chad and I were just talking about Halo Elevate, which has been in the market for, about a year and a half now?
It's a year and a half.
And prior to joining the Halo team, Chad, you were saying you trialed the product with your dog for 90 days to make sure that you felt good about what the product that you were selling. Tell us a little bit about your experience with using Halo and your dog Charlie, right?
Yep, this is Charlie. Charlie's Border Collie Great Pyrenees, and honestly, it was really important for me to trial the product personally, so that I know that if I'm making these promises to you guys, that I've seen them work with my own dog first. And so that's exactly what I did. Charlie was running into a lot of skin and coat issues, hair falling out, itchy, scratchy skin, hot spots on his backside, and Halo Elevate was making a lot of claims to be able to fix those issues. So I wanted to try to put that to the test firsthand. And so that's exactly what I did. And I did a full 90-day trial, and I actually have some pictures here to show you. This is Charlie, if you can see that, day one on Halo Elevate. If you can see that there, you saw some brown fur, a little bit of balding, you saw the hot spots, and then I'll show if this is visible, the full progression, so you can actually see as it improves. And what's really, really important is by this point right here, this is that 90-day mark. And you can actually see how much more hair he has, how much less irritated, red flaky skin he has, and the best part was all those hot spots, they actually closed up in the first month of feeding this food. Now, one of the things I find most amazing about this line right here isn't just that it took care of his skin and coat, it's that it also has the supplemental levels necessary to take care of any digestion needs with probiotics. It's also got supplemental levels for glucosamine and chondroitin, so that you have a one-stop shop for all of the supplement needs when it comes to hip and joint, skin and coat, immune system support, and even digestion.
And do you feel like there's other brands out on the market that could be similarly effective, or?
To be honest, I can't speak for all the other brands in the market. What I can say is that what I have found through continuous research, flipping bags up over just looking at the guaranteed analysis for myself, is that there's a major disconnect between what the back of a lot of bags promise versus what they say on the guaranteed analysis. And if you're not familiar with the guaranteed analysis, that's where every single thing is held accountable. So if you look at a digestion recipe and it says it's going to help with digestion, then you look at the guaranteed analysis and you find 200,000 probiotics. It's a very, very low level of probiotics. Probably not going to have a huge impact in digestion. Now, if you flip over our recipes, it says the same thing. Guaranteed to help with digestion. But when you look at our guaranteed analysis, you find 610 million live probiotics guaranteed 18 months shelf stable. To get to that number, we put in over 1.2 billion live probiotics.
Wow, that's impressive. And where can folks find Halo? You guys are in Petco?
We're in Petco, we're in PSP, and we're in a lot of independent retailers as well. So always feel free to call around, figure out where you can find us. What you won't find us, truthfully and honestly, and to the disappointment of some, we're not available on Amazon, we're not available on PetSmart, we're not available on Chewy. The reason we did that is because we feel it's very important to support our local businesses as well, grow our independent retailers, and to thank them for the opportunity to grow this line in their stores.
Very cool. Well, Chad, thank you so much. Great to be here with you at SuperZoo 2023. I hope you have a great rest of the show.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.